Hello there. Welcome to Just the Dis. We talk about Blu-rays here, and today I'm doing a little bit of a Vinegar Syndrome partner label spotlight. We're going to talk about Saturn's core audio and video and their most recent release, which I can't say is a good movie, but I will say I found highly entertaining. And it is called Burglar from Hell. And this one, I heard about this on Disconnected. There was an interview on Disconnected where it came up, and it just sounded fascinating to me. It is totally bizarre, totally bonkers, very amateurish, poorly acted. I mean, there's a lot of things about shot-on-video horror that I don't love. I don't love the aesthetic. I don't often love the type of actors that are involved and the type of performances. I just have to be in the right mood sometimes, and sometimes I just can't get on board with it. I don't advocate like laughing at a movie, but this is one of those movies that's just so ridiculous that I found myself being really, really entertained by it. And I would go so far as to call it like a discovery for me this year. I guess this one already has sort of a cult following, and I just wasn't aware of it. But this is definitely my favorite Saturn's core release so far. The idea is that there is a kind of, well, definitely evil thief, robber type, named Frank the Tank, who is going through this particular neighborhood, killing people, ripping out throats. And that's another thing about the movie, is it has pretty good gore for a shot on video. However, the horror aspects are more present at the beginning and the end of the film, and I'll talk about more of that in a second. But so he starts going after people in this neighborhood. He breaks into an old lady's house. He punches her in the stomach, sending her really high into the air with like a really odd stunt performance. And then he is killed. And we don't see him for a while in the movie, and he's sort of resurrected later. And that's when the movie becomes like, I mean, I guess you could say like Nightmare on Elm Street-ish, or The First Power or something like that. This is so bizarre. It's really hard to even classify this film, because the middle section is the part where I think a lot of people will fall out of the movie, and I'll totally get that. But he has this weird, Frank the Tank has this weird like running commentary to himself where he's sort of always talking about what he's going to do, and it's very bizarre to me. And so like, it's just one of those things where you watch it and you kind of can't believe it. But like, he's just such a strange character. But okay, so the movie, you know, it has not a lot of style to it. It has a lot of those pauses that you get when you run a take and you don't cut it quite properly. So you have that sort of pause right before somebody says, you know, action, or right after somebody says action, where they're still in that paused moment and then they go. And so a lot of those are left into the movie, and at a point it becomes like a running, I don't want to say gag, but like something where you're just like, okay, there it is again, kind of. And that kind of, I feel like we've seen enough movies that try to imitate the style of something like this, where they accentuate those bits enough that now I think you come back and watch it really being done and it becomes funny. So anyway, I thought that was entertaining, certainly, as what were the performances, which are a bit stilted. Their line readings are sometimes really big, and really made me laugh. But it's just one of those things that once it loses Frank the Tank at the beginning, then it becomes like this 90s dramedy hangout, which is totally bizarre. Just a group of friends going on a trip to a house to hang out together. There's this couple living with this roommate guy who's really funny and weird, and there's relationship drama. There's a scene of two characters in an fallen in love montage or whatever, where they're spinning around, and the spinning scene goes on like a really long time. So just things like that are just very strange. But once you hang out with these characters long enough, it becomes like this other movie, and you can kind of just hang with that for a while, and then Frank the Tank comes back, and it gets gory again, and it just ends with the sort of Frank the Tank stuff. It's bizarre, but I kind of really enjoyed it. So I don't know, like your mileage will absolutely vary with this one, but like I said, for this kind of thing, it was pretty entertaining. So a couple reviews I saw on Letterboxd. Justin LaLiberty, of course, works for Vinegar Syndrome and OCN, and he says, largely unclassifiable SOV effort that weaves from New Jersey slacker comedy to gory resurrection horror and moments of surprisingly artful psychotronica. Oh yeah, there's some trippy moments in it. Amidst gory slashings, gross bathroom humor, and the largest poster for Akira Kurosawa's Ron you've ever seen, that is oddly placed in the film. Nothing else like it, for better or worse. And then my friend Matt Lynch, who I highly recommend you follow on Letterboxd, says, almost totally incompetent SOV splatter comedy that still manages some moments of genuine camcorder phantasmagoria, particularly in a late dream sequence that might very charitably be described as Coffin Joe-esque, full of weird digressions. Look out for the Do the Right Thing ripoff scene, looking into camera close-ups right out of Demi, shifting room tone, grocery store gore, barely legible nighttime videography, blatantly arrhythmic dual VCR editing, and gratuitous boob shots. Undeniably awful, stupidly tantalizing. So those both kind of sum it up in a way. I don't know. It's, like I said, it was kind of bonkers in this way that I wasn't quite expecting. I mean, that if you get a look at the cover, you kind of get a sense of the cheapness of it, but there's, again, the gore is pretty good in parts for the, so it just really sort of perplexed me, and in the midst of my confusion about the film, I was having a good time with it. So let's see here. So let's see, you get, with this, you get some nice features. You get a new transfer from the recently unearthed SVHS master tape, audio commentary with writer-director Phil Herman, Chip Off the Old Block, an interview with director Phil Chip Herman, from Pop Scene to Scream Queen, an interview with actress Debbie D, Rockaway Beach Memoirs, an interview with actor Barry Gaines, Frank the Tank Speaks, an interview with actor Bryant Soule, bonus movie The Wrong Side of Town, 1989, Phil Herman's previously unreleased SOV action feature debut, newly scanned from SVHS, 64 minutes. I didn't get a chance to watch that yet, but that is next on the docket for me. I absolutely cannot wait to see that. And then Mercenary, an early short film by Phil Herman, 19 minutes. Yeah, so it says, note this feature was shot and edited on video. Please be advised that the transfer quality is confined by the limitations of the format. Yes, you know what you're getting if you're doing shot on video horror. But anyway, just wanted to highlight this one in particular. I will try and do a rundown of some more of the partner label titles soon, because there's so much stuff coming out of the OCN partner labels. Go to vinegarsyndrome.com and select the partner labels tab, and you can see all the different labels broken down. Saturn's core audio and video. Definitely check out their other stuff. Their other most recent release is Backwoods Marcy, which I haven't had a chance to check out yet, but this one looks quite entertaining as well. It says, a wrong turn during a business trip leads an unsuspecting yuppie down a perilous road of terror after he foolishly runs afoul of Marcy, a psychotic redneck homeless woman who dwells deep in the ominous swamplands of the New Jersey Pine Barrens. After capturing him and caging him like an animal, the depraved Marcy methodically tortures and rapes her helpless male captive. Upon his escape, a savage fight to the death ensues where only the most cunning of the two will survive. One of the few shot-on-video movies in history to be helmed by a woman, Backwoods Marcy was written, produced, scored, and directed by actress-turned-filmmaker Dawn Murphy, who also turns in a tour-de-force acting performance in a dual role that earned her a Best Actress nomination at the 1999 B Movie Awards. Co-starring David Castiglione, Pamela Such, and Wave founder Gary Whitson. Saturn's Core is proud to present this long-sought-after, strangely feminist 90s-era SOV horror epic, newly uncovered and restored from the vaults of the infamous South Jersey-based Studio Sharky video. As an added bonus, Backwoods Marcy now comes paired with another Sharky video curio, writer-director Dave Castiglione's 1995 brain-melting, holiday-themed SOV comedy, and an ex-hooker's Christmas Carol, which arrives newly restored and accompanied by a wealth of extras on its own, and then a bunch of nice features, including commentary with actor-producer Dave Castiglione, moderated by Ross Snyder from Saturn's Core, Sharky's Tale, an interview with actor-filmmaker Dave Castiglione, Behind the Backwoods, Making of, and Blooper Reel featurette with commentary by producers Don Murphy and Dave Castiglione, archival 1998-99 VHS cut, SD, Sharky video trailer, and then bonus movie, Ex-Hooker's Christmas Carol, and audio commentary with Dave Castiglione on that, as well as Millie's Wonderful Life actress Laura Giglio on an Ex-Hooker's Christmas Carol, blooper reel, alternate ending. So this one's got a couple things going on. Definitely wanted to make you guys aware of the most recent offerings from Saturn's Core audio and video. So if you're into SOV horror, or even if you're not, Burglar from Hell might be of interest if you like bonkers, crazy, not particularly well made or acted, but nonetheless enjoyable movies. So anyway, thank you so much for watching and or listening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.